ready. This is going to be exciting.
And the ARCA restarts up to go. Green flag is out and we're underway.
Just a few laps into this. Oh, the 37's getting loose. Oh, and he saves it. Oh, they're going 3 wide.
We've got a 5-way fight for the win of this race coming to 4 laps to go. He's gonna win it here in spectacular fashion.
Well, good evening, race fans. Welcome to the regular season finale for the Alexander PC ARCA East Series. Tonight, we head to Music City, Nashville Super Speedway to lock in the playoff grid. It'll be 16 total drivers, 8 pro, 8 am, all making their way out of the East into that playoff bracket. And we will find out live right here on V-Speed who will be the final drivers to work their way into that playoff. Good evening. Thank you for spending your Monday with us. My name's Daniel Cunningham. Alongside me up here in the booth, pulling double duty as always, Eddie Smith, co-commentating and running the production truck. Eddie, we've got one of the more unique tracks on the circuit here tonight. There was also just recently a big update to the ARCA car. Do you have any ideas on what we can expect and how you're feeling for this race tonight?
Well, I've heard there's a lot of grip. There's no fall off, so it looks like status quo for the ARCA series, the way these cars driving in this track. It's going to be interesting to see. It seems like going to be hard to pass. Going to be track position going to be really, really important. Anytime there's no tire wear, it is so difficult to make up any lost time. So right now we're in the middle of qualifying. You better lay down a good lap. You better make sure it's fast. You better start up front, or you'll find yourself in a world of hurt come tonight.
Well, if there's one thing that definitely makes for great racing, it is zero tire fall off in a track position game, with the little Reddit sarcasm tab after that at the end of it. But these drivers will still put on a show here for us this evening as we head into race number 10 of the season. Let's take a quick look at our track map again. This is one of the more unique tracks on the schedule. I have absolutely no idea why they call this place a super speedway, because it damn sure is not a super speedway. 1.3 miles long, 14 degrees of banking in the turns, 9 on that front stretch tri-oval. Relatively new track, opened in January of 2001. This track sat dormant for a while. They ended up moving one of the races from Dover here in real life. So it's kind of cool that NASCAR did end up coming back here in real life. And now we get to bring these ARCA cars here this evening.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great market. It's obviously a market that NASCAR wants to hit and make sure, because the core, your core NASCAR fans are from the South, and there's not too many things as Southern as Nashville if you like country music, and the roots of NASCAR are sort of around this area at least. So I think it's a great place to be. Maybe not the best track to be at. I think the track has put on some really good racing in real life, but I think on iRacing it's been a very tough track. You don't really use much of the track. It's a wide-ish sort of track, but just not using a whole lot of the The track is right around the bottom. You got to carry the momentum, carry the corner speed through the corners, come off the corner without getting loose. And basically, if you don't do that, you lose a whole lap and a half if you slide or slip up even one time with just so much speed that you're carrying down in these corners. Like Dover, but just way worse. It's like Dover if Satan created it. That's Nashville Super Speedway. So.
Well, and Eddie, real quick before we get into the grid, I got to ask, because we're in Music City. So I've got to ask, did you ever hear why the Beatles actually quit making music?
No, I didn't. Daniel, tell me.
It's because Chuck Norris doesn't like bugs.
Good Lord.
That's how we're kicking off the race tonight in honor of Chuck Norris. Little Chuck Norris joke here this evening. But anyway, back to what we all came here for. We have got a pole award to hand out here this evening as these drivers have finished up their qualifying runs. And that is the Jam Printing and Promotions Pole Award. Since forming in 2013, Jam has contributed printing and promotional sponsorships to more than 60 local nonprofits with a primary focus on organizations that assist veterans, women, and children. They've been with Goat Locker Racing since the very beginning, local and veteran certified. When they do well, they do good in the community. Starting on the pole here this evening, it's going to be Samuel Joseph in the 65. Chase Barkas got to be making his old man proud, starting to the outside there in P2. Second row, teammates Barrett Morton in third, Jeremiah Holt rolling off in P4. Fifth place will go to Tyler McGahee with Jake Bustos. I believe this is his first start in the series, rolling off P6. In seventh is Michael Jones, Mark Cofield in eighth. And rounding out your top 10 here this evening is going to be Devin Smith in ninth and Alex Grog in that 10th position.
A lot of amateur drivers qualifying really well tonight. A lock off of the front row for Joseph Barkas. Pretty cool as we go into 11th. Trent Sneed in 11th, and then Jamie Libke in that 12th spot. In 13th is going to be MJ Johns, and then Joseph McWhorter. A little interesting to see him this far back. Got Christopher Heiner in the 15th position with Andy Carnes there in 16th. 17th, Jesse Fox with Alan Smith in that 18th position. 19th, Charles Abert and Mason Muliel in 20th.
Rolling off in 21st is going to be Chris Snail with Bryce Grissom in the 22nd position. 23rd, Corey Vaughn, Edward Fiedler in the 24th spot. 25th will be Tyler Evans, Claire Sisk outside in 26th. 27th, Mike Kriskowski with Colton Sisk in 28th. Rolling off 29th, Mark Barcelos with Austin McColgan in 30th. Rounding out your field is going to be Billy J. Sigmund in 31st, Zachary Tyler in 32nd, and Bill Molefield starting shotgun on the field tonight in 33rd. And man, I mean, we're 10 races in and we still got 33 drivers showing up. Really big field here, and that's just in the east side of this, not to count what we've got going on over in the ARCA West race tonight as well. So really awesome to see these big fields here. Take a look at our race analysis. 80 laps on the board tonight. 45-mile-an-hour pit road speed. Got 4 sets of tires in the pits, but you probably ain't going to need them with no tire fall off. 2 green-white checker attempts, 65% fuel, looking at about 35 to 40 laps green flag for a full fuel run here this evening. So depending on how cautions fall, these drivers may be able to make it on one stop here this evening. And be interesting to see who tries to play that strategy, tries to play the track position game. But you called it, Eddie. We've got a couple of the AM Division drivers on the front row, Samuel Joseph and Chase Barkas out here starting P1 and P2 this evening. And then 2 pro drivers on the second row, the teammates Barrett Morton and Jeremiah Holt. We are ready to get this race underway from Nashville Super Speedway. Green flag is out in the air, and we are racing at Nashville. Already a lot of side-by-side through the pack. Samuel Joseph able to clear through for the race lead. Barrett Morton now up into second. Side-by-side, though, between Tyler McGahee and Chase Barkas for third and fourth. Barkas up the track. He may lose fourth here as well to Jeremiah Holt.
Yeah, Barkas having a great qualifying attempt, but then getting a little shaky here on this start. But that's good news about starting up front, Daniel. You make a small mistake, it doesn't drop you all the way to the back. He's going to fall back to 6th, going to be able to work his way, hopefully back up front with that speed that he has. Gonna be watching to see if some of these pro drivers can make it through the field, but right now it looks like it is a minefield from 5th on back. You can see double wide trying to gain these positions as you can. We saw 3, almost 4 wide there on the start, just trying to gain as many positions as you can on these restarts. It's going to be extremely important. Nashville Superspeedway has a tendency to go green flag racing, so you better make your moves while you can, as it looks like somebody got a little bit loose down there.
Yeah, they're looking 3 wide. That's Joseph McWhorter thinking about going to the middle, and he turns to 100 of Grog, but he's able to keep it under control. Wow, what a save there out of car number 100.
He's still saving it.
Still trying to wheel it. Was he going to keep it off the racing surface? He does. We'll see if it throws a caution when he pulls back up onto the track, but it looks like we will indeed stay green. And man, that was a hell of a save out of Alex Grog there. And I mean, just absolutely wheeling that car through turns 3 and 4 to hang on to that. Still under the green flag here. Got the 710 of Chase Barkas battling for position here. Sliding just a little bit further back, right behind them. 2 drivers that I don't think are on each other's Christmas card list. You've got Mark Cofield, Michael Jones. They always seem to find a way next to each other out there on the track. And yeah, I think that these 2 drivers are not a big fan of one another. So we'll see how they race each other as we continue on here.
A good rivalry is just what we need. You see Joseph McWhorter getting extremely loose off the corner. We saw that in practice a little bit where drivers were really struggling getting the grip down. You try to push that pedal just a little bit, and the car just wants to over-rotate. And you saw that there out of the 72, who is struggling to get through the field so far. Expect to see him towards the front, but he's going to have to figure out how to get those rear tires down so far. Mark Cofield's kind of figured out he's already up now 3 spots if he can complete this pass on Jake Bustos, and it looks like he is. And what a hell of a last name, Bustos. Very interesting. There's a lot of interesting last names here in the field tonight, but that's a good one. As Cofield now up to 5th position, 3rd in the amateur, as right now Samuel Joseph still leading the way.
Yeah, Samuel Joseph about 2 car lengths up on Barrett Morton. This is where the Hornets' nest is. You see Jamie Lipke trying to work their way up through the field. You've got the 24 car there as well of Devin Smith trying to work up through some traffic here. And the slide back continuing for Chase Barkas. I mean, a real strong qualifying effort, still running in the top 10 right now, 8th overall, but definitely not the start that he was hoping for. Still a really solid race overall, though. Hopefully he can find his way back up to the front, but this side-by-side now with Jamie Lipke taking that position. Devin Smith trying to find a way through as well, and I was trying to see who that was on the outside. I believe that is the 81.
Oh, no!
Trenton Sneed. Oh, and just as we were talking about Devin Smith, he is going to take the road less traveled through the infield grass. He's able to hang on to it, though. Another great save, but losing every bit of track position that he had gained to this point.
Yeah, I was going to say it's good to see him on track. He hasn't been racing near as much here lately, and just gets a little bit loose there, goes down to the infield grass, tries to take a shortcut, but not quite able to do that. Got a battle coming up for 3rd. It looks like Jeremiah Holt, looks like he just got around Tyler McGahee. So Jeremiah Holt, somebody we expect to see up front. A little disappointed he didn't get the win last week, but he has definitely got the speed here lately to get it done. All the Bandits guys seem to be really quick, so I don't know if y'all figured something out, but it's just the Bandits folks just keep getting better and better and better each and every week. Samuel Joseph, another one of those that seems to keep getting better every time he hits the track. So right now the top 4, Samuel Joseph, Barrett Morton, Jeremiah Holt, Tyler McGahee, and Mark Cofield rounding out your top 5.
Yeah, and Samuel Joseph, I'm liking that paint scheme he's got there too. A little silver bullet action going on with the little Sterling Marlin throwback, it looks like there. But he's got goat locker on it. So, you know, Eddie, you've raced with me enough to know that I like making those kind of, I don't even know what you call them. They're throwbacks, but they don't have the official sponsor on it. You just kind of matching fonts and everything. And I'm a big fan of that car. Looks good out there out front tonight.
Yeah, it definitely seems fast. Big mover so far. Chris Nail started back in the whatever position, 21st, now running 14th, and Mason Mueller Mueller, I don't know, is up 5 spots as well. And then you got Tyler Evans, who is up 6 spots, running back in the 19th position. So some folks are able to make those passes. And I will say, Daniel, with that inside line, seems like it's a little bit loose off of these corners. And we talked about it's going to be difficult to pass, but if you can't get the power down on the bottom, that really could change the way this track races.
Yeah, and it seems like you had mentioned, that outside lane is kind of where you want to be. I don't know long-term how that might affect the right front, if it might still burn it up a little bit, but I mean, we heard drivers talking about there's not a whole lot of tire wear now, so you might be able to just get up there and kind of rip it on that outside lane and just go for it. Might not have to worry a whole lot about burning the right front up. You may still have to worry about just tire temps more than anything, which that's the case. You can just back it off for a couple laps, kind of let the tires cool down a little bit, as I believe that was Claire Sisk that got into the wall just behind this battle off of turn number 4 there. 12 car able to continue on, but actually gets into the wall a little bit again there off of turn 2.
Yeah, some great racing happened all over the track. We can kind of just click wherever. So we kind of sound like a bunch of dummies talking about how it was going to be a boring race. But so far, it has not been a boring race, as we see Jesse Fox make a little contact with Austin McGolgan. And, oh, Lord, Jesse Fox sliding up in the marbles out there.
That is definitely a little bit higher up on track than you want to run.
Yeah, that ain't working.
Some of these new, especially with some of these new tire updates with how the tires collect marbles and things like that, like you mentioned. I mean, it's going to take you a couple of laps to get them cleaned off, get your momentum built back up. Right now, Claire Sisk up there as well, running where you really don't want to be, but able to keep it going in the right direction, keep everything facing forward to this point. So little chaotic there in the back of the pack, but everybody doing a good job of keeping it clean. Back up here at the front, Barrett Morton starting to close in just a little bit, but seems like he's just kind of stuck right at that 3 to 4/10 of a second, maybe getting a little bit of dirty air from the race leader, Samuel Joseph. But Jeremiah Holt, though, he has really closed in on Morton and maybe thinking about trying to put some pressure on here as well.
Well, and you say that, him and Morton and Holt kind of clipped the wall there off the corner. Tyler McGahee was running a really high line off of 2 and got a nice little run, but really nothing to do with it. He's going to get really tight off of turn 4. So I think you're absolutely right. The dirty air now, as the tires are starting to get worn, as the track temp's only 87 degrees. And you mentioned it, tire wear may not be a factor, but tire heat definitely still is, because you can see these guys are really struggling for grip off the corner while they're in that 0.3 of a second bubble, where that dirty air really plays a factor here on iRacing. And so you can see almost a perfect 0.3 gap from first, second, third, all the way to 4th, as Tyler McGahee going to deal with the lap traffic of Alex Grog, who we saw spin out there on the first couple laps, finally going a lap down. He is looking for a caution quickly. But, yeah, just all about a 0.3 gap between these leaders. So it looks like dirty air is still going to be a factor in these cars.
Yeah, definitely going to be something that these drivers are contending with throughout the evening. But while they're running single file for a moment, let's go ahead and give a shout out to our title sponsor of the series, Alexander PCs. Wouldn't be able to do any of this without their support. And Alexander PC is a custom and gaming PC builder who has been building and modding systems since 2002. They're a veteran-owned and operated family business, and all of their team members, support, and production are U.S.-based. All desktop PCs come with an industry-best lifetime limited warranty and service guarantee. Work, play, conquer, Alexander PCs.
I thought we might talk a little bit about the point standings while they're sort of separated out. We're not going to have live points just due to the way the Pro-Am standings sort of work, but Mick Warder is your points leader with the 3 wins. Barrett Morton and Jeremiah Holt all with each a win. Barrett Morton's got 2. Christopher Heiner, actually surprising to see how well he's been doing. I haven't really talked too much about him, but he is sitting there in 4th. But it looks like all the pro drivers that we're going to have are going to transfer over just due to the pro driver field sort of being a little bit smaller than it was maybe last season. So looks like everybody's going to go in. You've got Wesley Burke with a win, Zachary Tyler with a win, I do believe, and then Jamie Barkers, Chance Taylor. So it looks like the playoff field for the pro side going to be pretty straightforward. But on the east side, Samuel Joseph with the points lead at the moment with 2 wins. Mark Cofield with 2 wins. Allen Smith sitting in the top 5 without a win. Still looking to get that first dub, but still pretty solid in the point standings. You got Jamie Lipke with that 1 win. Chase Barkus in 5th. Tyler Gebbin in 6th. Tyler Evans in 7th. And Michael Jones holding on to that 8th spot. So you got Patrick Fuller, who has got 2 wins, but I'm not real sure if he's going to have the attendance. So we'll see how that plays out. But there's a lot of people still in play, I do believe. Jesse Fox, Bill Molefield, and Charles Averett has a win as well. So there's some folks that have a chance. They get up here and win this amateur race, can get into the playoffs. But it seems like it's all kind of pretty much settled out right now here at the entrance of the start of the playoffs. Excuse me.
Yeah, really the biggest question to me on the AM side, like you had mentioned, is will Patrick Fuller have the attendance requirement needed to get in by way of those 2 wins that he has? If not, that'll open up another spot for a driver on points, or potentially another driver to win their way in here this evening. As right now, Samuel Joseph, who does have an AM win on the season, is your current division leader and also race leader as well. So a lot of speed there. Big contact there. I believe that was the 100 of Alex Grock, got into the wall right in front of Jamie Lipke and almost sends the 16 around. Up back here at the front of the field, 73 of Jeremiah Holt is able to find his way around Barrett Morton. So we'll see what Holt has, if he can get up here and put any pressure on Samuel Joseph for the overall race lead. I mean, we talked about how fast Holt has been throughout the season. He's had a lot of really good speed, run a lot of really strong races. And, I think that he was probably being held up just a little bit by Barrett Morton. Barrett playing the teammate game there, maybe cutting him a break and letting him go.
Yeah, he was 10th faster than the leader last time. And very interesting to see the pass for second being the pro lead. We don't see that very often in this series. A lot of time the actual overall lead is your pro lead, but right now these guys are battling for the actual pro lead, where Samuel Joseph has the overall lead at the moment and also the amateur lead. And I've said lead 3 more times than I meant to in that sentence. But Jeremiah Holt still putting down some quick laps, but Joseph has that dirty air, that clean air, and I think right now it's just trying to play that dirty air, make Jeremiah Holt really have to put in the work, burn his right front off to try to get around. Don't cut him any breaks. I think with the way this race is going, with little to no yellow flags, even with some incidents, I think you don't want to give up clean air if you don't have to.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right on that. And even just looking at our lap times right now as they're running, only about 5/10, about half a second or so of fall off for a lot of these drivers. So, we talked earlier in the race, talked in the pre-race a little bit about this new update. There's just not a ton of tire wear, and it seems like that is proving to be the case. But, Jeremiah Holt here, he's looking for any clean air that he can. This onboard gives us a really good idea of just how he's searching around, and it almost kind of reminds me of what you have to do in the next gen. You just got to kind of look for not even a full car width, just look for offset by a quarter of the car, and just try to keep enough clean air on the front of it to get it to rotate. You can see it there. Jeremiah Holt went down to that yellow line a little bit earlier than Samuel Joseph did, trying to keep some air on that left front. Even here down the straightaway, just trying to cut the apron, make the track a little shorter, anything he can. Now he's running up the track just a quarter of a lane, and he's making it work. I mean, he's closed in to within 0.2 of a second now. And what he's doing, he's found something. He's right there for the lead now.
Yeah, Joseph bounced off the apron just a tad bit. And boy, he's going to go in and door bang. Yeah, Joseph not going to appreciate that, but I don't think there's much Joseph can do. He's going to fight back on the outside with that momentum. They're going to go side by side down the straightaway. I think Holt's going to have the advantage on the low line. We'll see how hard Joseph's going to push. And he's going to drive right down on the door of the 73, and the 73 really struggling to get the power down off the bottom. And he is not going to be able to complete that pass. Joseph going to hang on to it for now.
Yeah, and you got to think with Jeremiah Holt, he doesn't want to rough somebody up at least, 30 laps into a race to take the lead or anything like that. So once Joseph was able to hang on his outside, maybe Jeremiah Holt saying, okay, I overdrove it just a little bit, tried to get in there. We'll let you get this lead back. We'll see if we can set it up a little bit cleaner than that. But Eddie, we're not that far away from thinking about green flag pit stops here. I mean, there's not going to be a whole lot of value in doing an undercut and pitting early just with the lack of lap time fall off that we're seeing. So I got to wonder here, you know, do you try to stretch this out, maybe save a little bit of fuel and see if you can possibly make this a one-stop race?
I think you do whatever you can to gain any kind of track position. I think if the top two here, I think if you're Holt, you try to at least come down with Joseph or try to come down a lap earlier just to get that one extra lap. If you can't pass him on track, which he's getting really close right now, going to take a dive down to the inside, and I think Joseph just gives it up. Unbelievable. I am blown away at that.
That is surprising. I mean, you know, Samuel Joseph may be playing big picture here and thinking, okay, I can get an AM win. I don't need the overall race win for that. The next driver behind me is also a pro driver, but I'm with you. I am very surprised that Joseph did not put up more of a fight there, because you and I have talked about it throughout the season. Yes, these AM drivers can get their division win without winning the race, but every driver wants to get that overall win. There's just a little bit of extra that goes into it if that's the case. But yellow flag is out. The 164 of Billy J. Sigmund is around on the back straightaway. The 7 of Charles Abert involved as well. So, yeah, take all that pit strategy talk. Just throw that right out the window. We're not going to worry about that right now. But we are going to take a look on the V-Speed instant replay here. Sigmund on the outside. That is the 51 down there on the bottom. And Christopher Heiner as well. And I'm not sure if Heiner got into the 51. It looked like maybe a little bit and turned him into Sigmund there. It's kind of hard to tell from that initial angle.
A little bit better angle there. Yeah, you can see just a sort of a chain reaction started from Heiner, and unfortunate side effects for Charles Abert and some others who were involved in that. Not too big of a hit. You got a faster pair, you can go down and get that fixed, but yeah, a little bummed to see that caution. It was expected maybe this thing to go caution-free, but
yeah, we were certainly trending that direction, but that is going to give the entire field an opportunity to come down pit lane here, take a set of tires, get the cars full of fuel. This is probably going to put these drivers outside of the pit window to make it to the end, though. Maybe a couple guys near the back might come in and top off with 1 to green. We'll have to see how that works. But as it stands, probably going to still need one more stop here to get to the end. We'll take a look to see who wins the race off of pit road here. And Jeremiah Holt going to hold serve here. He will win the race off of pit road. And it looks like, let's take a look up through our lineup. Holt comes off first. Samuel Joseph off pit road second. Barrett Morton in third. Joseph McWhorter gaining some spots there on pit road as well. He's actually up to 4th overall now. Jake Bustos coming out in 5th. So, you know, Joseph McWhorter, the big winner on that pit sequence there. He gained a ton of track position.
yeah, good stop. I mean, quick in the lane, nothing just outrageous. He took 4 tires, just came out, gained a couple spots there with just about 2 or 3 4/10 better on pit lane. So just making use of, and a lot of people don't know this, and I don't know, some people may not like that this is actually a thing, but you know, the speed limit is actually a little bit more than the speed limit that pops up on your screen when you're on pit road. And you can actually get away with a little bit more speed as long as it doesn't say slow down. So you actually can go about 46 miles an hour on here and just push it to the absolute limit. If you can do that, you can gain a lot of time, more than you think. But when we're talking about the difference between tenths, you know, 2 tenths, 3 tenths, that little extra speed down pit road can make a difference. And obviously Joseph McWhorter taking a real good advantage of that.
Yeah, that's a really good point there, Eddie. There's definitely ways that you can gain time on pit road, even though for the most part, the pit crews themselves are all pretty even down there on pit lane when you come in and you take the 4 tire stops. So Joseph McWhorter utilizing any knowledge that he's got in the bag of tricks to try to gain some track position here. But get ready to go back green, your control car, Jeremiah Holt. We documented last week his struggles on restarts. We'll see how he's able to get going here with being the control car on this restart. Samuel Joseph to his outside. He's got teammate Barrett Morton directly behind. Now a new challenger with Joseph McWhorter up there in the 4th position. Pace car is off as we head into the extreme scoring restart.
Oh, man.
And a big check up there on that initial start. Not sure how race control may take a look at that one, because it looked like Jeremiah Holt launched, stopped, and then launched again. But that is going to allow Samuel Joseph to take the lead. And now Joseph McWhorter looking for second on the outside.
Yeah, Jeremiah Holt trying to save as much as he can, but the momentum lost. Now he's 3 wide back there. He's going to lose a couple more spots, just losing that momentum as he drives down on the outside of Barrett Morton, trying to gain those positions back. 3 wide here for 3rd place as the 74, Jake Bustos, is going to the outside. Holt able to get down on the apron and maintain that for now, as Joseph McWhorter now putting pressure on Samuel Joseph. One too many heat strokes here, Daniel, but great racing here as Jeremiah Holt trying to claw his way back. But we talked about those restarts, sort of the bane of his night the other night last week. And again, with the lead on the restart, out of a couple laps, he's going to come out with 4th. So still haven't resolved those just yet.
Yeah, it is. It definitely seems to be the Achilles heel right now for the 73. And you know, we won't even blame it on heat stroke with the name there, Eddie. You've got Joseph and Joseph up there in your top 2 spots right now. So just too much similarity between your top 2 with the names there. But battle for 3rd is on. Bustos has it. Jeremiah Holt trying to look to the inside. He's got another teammate there in Mark Cofield right behind as well. Barrett Morton has fallen back just a couple of spots here in this exchange. And Snead now, new driver here to Goat Locker Racing in the ARCA series. He's working his way up through the field as well, currently sitting in 6th overall.
Yeah, and race control saying a restart violation for Jeremiah Holt. I'm sure there's some discussion going on. He has yet to make any kind of penalty call in the and there it is. Yeah, black flag is now out for Jeremiah Holt, who will have to do a drive-through penalty for what you said was a kind of a go and then start. So I don't know if they're discussing it or what, but you know, you never know if you missed a shift or just couldn't get it in gear or whatever. So, but it looks like as Joseph McWhorter takes the lead, Jeremiah Holt slowing down to serve that penalty. So a big development here for the 73.
Yeah, that is definitely going to be a tough one here for Jeremiah Holt. He's had a lot of speed, run up near the front all night. Will have to come down and serve that pass-through penalty. Gets a little loose on his way into the pit lane, but gets it slowed down to pit road speed and will now serve that penalty that he was assessed for that restart. So still got time to recover. If he can get another caution, get caught up to the field, he can still try to work his way back up, but definitely going to be tough for him to get back up on this one. But let's take another quick look at this restart. And I'm not sure if maybe, like you said, if it was just a situation. Well, actually, I can kind of see what it was now. He launched before he even got to the restart zone. That green block on the wall on the outside is where the restart zone begins.
Yeah, great point.
And he launched before that, and then I think he caught himself, realized that he had launched too early, and tried to give it back. But either way, I think at that point he was going to be getting the penalty regardless.
Well, he goes down. He doesn't go down a lap. He comes down, serves the drive-through, but he's right in front of the pack, which may be perfect because he's able to kind of stay out there. We know he's got the speed. Now he just needs to hope for a caution, which he may get one because the racing up front is wild right now. But I want to just kind of shout out race control. Great call. You know, we always kind of maybe sometimes disagree with the calls that race control does and don't always agree with them, but I do think that's the right call. I think Jeremiah Holt didn't mean to do it, but at the same time, he did it, and there is a penalty for that. So I think great call by race control.
Oh, yellow flag is out. The 828 Tyler Evans is around on the front straightaway, and that is the caution that Jeremiah Holt needed to get caught back up while he was still on the lead lap. Take a look here on the V-Speed instant replay. See what happened on this caution. That is, I think it's MJ Johnson, the 59, that is directly behind. I think he had a little bit of help here, a little bit of contact on corner exit. Around he goes, and poor Chase Barkis, his night just not what he had hoped for after that front row starting position. And it looked like Alan Smith got a little piece of that as well in the 00.
I don't know if help is the word or if he got, I mean, good Lord. He got a little bit of contact and just MJ Johns just kept pushing him as he got out of shape. You see he kind of bounces off the apron and opens the door. MJ trying to fit his way in there. Gives him a bump, keeps bumping and I mean, just flat out disrespect. You see the contact to the 00 of Alan Smith, so he's going to have a little bit of damage there.
Yeah, that on the second look there, that was just a touch more than help out of MJ Johns there. But it's going to give these drivers an opportunity to come down pit lane yet again. This will put everybody in the pit window to make it to the end from here. I'll be curious to see if anybody decides to try 2 tires and just get that track position, or if we're going to see 4 tires the whole way down pit lane. Not a whole lot of green flag laps since that last caution, and it looks like somebody's going to try it, because Joseph McWhorter is not going to be the first one off of pit lane here. He's going to come out a few cars behind. Michael Jones, Zachary Tyler, looks like they elected to do fuel only on this stop.
They stayed out, it looks like.
No, I'm sorry. Those 3 stayed out. I beg your pardon.
Yeah.
You are correct. So Jake Bustos, the first one off pit road, he did take fuel only. Samuel Joseph, Mark Cofield, Barrett Morton, Jamie Libke, and Austin McColgan all took 2 tires. Joseph McWhorter is going to restart in 10th overall, and he is going to be the first driver on 4 tires. But yeah, you are correct. 3 drivers stayed out here. So a bit of a strategy call for them, and trying to gain some track position. I still don't think they're going to be able to make it to the end, even with the help of this caution. But I mean, it's worth a shot to roll the dice on it.
Yeah, I like the mixed strategies, so that's a good sign. We're going to see some really good racing, or very chaotic racing at least. Folks staying out here trying to do a little bit of clutching to try to save as much fuel as possible. And now we're going to see just how big a deal 4 tires actually makes, with McWhorter being back in 9th, and we'll see if he's able to make his way to the front. But I mean, we only had just a few laps on those left sides, so I think 2-tire call is probably going to be a pretty good one. But there's only one way to find out. So I think the real big question mark is these 3 up front, and they haven't been up front all night long. You restart up front. It's a lot of pressure, Daniel, and you could easily make a couple mistakes.
Yeah, it's really the big question mark here. Like you said, you've got some new drivers up there at the front of the field that haven't been in that position this evening as a control car. They are at a tire disadvantage over some of these drivers behind them. So it's going to be interesting. It's, I think chaotic is the right word to use that there. And I mean, we already saw chaos on the previous restart, just did a little bit different for him. And we may be getting ready to see it yet again here with this one. But pace car getting ready to make that left-hand turn as we head into the extreme scoring restart zone to get back underway. Already past halfway here in this one. Field in control of Michael Jones in the 2. Green flag back out in the air. Really good jump for the 2 car. He's going to easily clear through for the race lead. Bustos was thinking about 3 wide. He was looking for a second, trying to get around these drivers that stayed out, but they are side by side now for second on those older tires. Oh, we're back.
Oh, wreck in the back.
Austin McColgan is involved.
Oh my God.
Sneed is involved. The 101 of Chris Nail is involved as well. And we are back under yellow here at Nashville Super Speedway. I believe, is that Colton Sisk that's driving driving a modified there, and driving a trike at that, I think, right now. That right front tire has definitely seen better days. Although I guess you can't wear the tire if it's not touching on the racetrack. So
yeah, that right front's going to be really cold. So it's not overheating the right front at all.
Yeah,
go back and look
in that one at all.
Go back and take a look and see what happened. I mean, Colton just kind of. This was after we'll go back and see the full wreck, but just kind of see what happened to Colton. Just probably trying to avoid it. Yeah, just gets on the brakes and makes a little bit of contact, breaks that's what happened. Big hit on that right front. Colton goes around. I'm still trying to figure out who the heck that was. Oh, it was Austin McColgan.
Yeah, the 5'10" of Austin McColgan was the one that Colton Sisk ramped off of there. And he was running a little bit closer up towards the front of the field, just outside of the top 10. So he gets into the back of Joseph McWhorter. Car gets a little bit loose. You can see he's trying to save it, overcorrects back up into the track. and takes a few other drivers out with him. You see Chris Nail with some pretty good damage out of that. Sneed with some damage out of that. And Jeremiah Holt looks like able to sneak his way through with that calamity there. Take a look from his onboard here.
Well, this is what he needed. He needed a quick caution to get back on the lead lap, get some tires, and then another quick caution to be able to get through some of these drivers. I mean, it's just great job getting down out of the way. He doesn't try to daze and thunder it, but he's going to gain a ton of spots. He's up to 23rd now, so great job by him. We'll see if he can get a few more caution to get him the way back up to the front. But, yeah, just making contact with McWhorter and then overcorrecting into the field. That's a sort of a tough 1-2 little moment there for Austin McLaughlin.
Yeah, that is definitely a tough one here, but under caution with Michael Jones, still your race leader. While we got a second under this caution, I want to go ahead and give another shout out to one of our league sponsors, that being the Indiana Department of Veterans Affairs, one of our great supporters that we've got here at Goat Locker. And, one of the cool things that Goat Locker does is giving away sim rigs to veterans and first responders. And Indiana Department of Veterans Affairs plays a pretty pivotal role in that. They actually help out with that selection process. They help out with the application process to help Goat Locker locate those deserving veterans. So really appreciate their support with that and everything that they do here, not just with Goat Locker, but with the veteran community.
%. Well, I'm excited to see how these last 18 laps go. And honestly, Michael Jones, Zachary Tyler, Alex Garral kind of looking like geniuses up here. Staying out, and if we get a lot more cautions, I mean, these laps are just clicking off under yellow. Doesn't matter how you could be running on, you could be running on wheels, and it really won't matter if you're not making green flag laps. So the tire difference is not going to be a big deal if we keep having these cautions. So I think Michael Jones, Zachary Tyler would welcome as many cautious laps if they can get.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know you said 18 laps to go, Eddie. I think your math might be off by 10 there. We got 28 left to go. You're trying to shortchange these drivers tonight.
I was trying to leave a little bit early, wasn't
I? Trying to, a little early here, but getting ready to head back into that extreme scoring restart zone. Green flag back out in the air. Another good jump for the two of Michael Jones as he gets clear of that front row, but those tires, they are right there. They are trying to make their way through as they were already starting to look 3 wide. Got Zachary Tyler getting forced up onto the high side of the track now. Samuel Yosef trying to find his way through. Jake Bustos trying to find his way through. If they can go green for a couple laps here, I think they'll be able to clear him, but Bustos making some contact with Zachary Tyler.
And Zachary Tyler all out of shape there up front, trying to gas it up to keep up with Yosef, just not able to do it. Now trying to defend against Jake Bustos. But Jake's going to go up to the outside. The 29 drives deep into the corner. He sees overdriving the entry and just getting killed from center exit. And now he's just in a hornet's nest, so he's going to get split roasted 3 wide.
Yellow flag is back out again. Sorry there, Eddie, to interrupt the battle, but big contact. Devin Smith involved in this one. Tyler Evans caught up in it again. Just not the night that either of those drivers were hoping for. Is Devin Smith doing a little crab walk down the back straightaway right now. I think this actually started a few cars up. Oh, never mind. There was 2 different incidents going on at the same time here, because I saw Claire Sisk was out of shape, but my God, what a hit there for those 2 drivers. The entire back end of Devin Smith's car was missing there for a moment.
Yeah, the 828 gave Devin Smith a huge shot. Devin Smith gave him a boom right back. Obviously, I don't think Devin meant to do that. Obviously, you don't. If you're going to try to wreck somebody, you don't Danica Patrick it and just destroy your race as well. But looked like he thought he had it kind of figured out. Those rear tires get a little bit hot and just clobber Tyler Evans.
And I think, was that the 166 of Edward Fiedler that? Oh my God, that's a late incident there. I think he was the one that ended up sending Devin Smith to the shadow realm on the second hit here. That was the one that ripped the back end of the car off versus that first hit that ripped the front end of the car off. This is going to be an onboard here.
Said Cole, you can drive through it. He's trying and almost got all the way through.
He was that close. I mean, he almost made his way through, but man, those cars broadside in the track will get you every time when you're trying to miss those wrecks like that.
Look, he hit it so hard it looked like the wheel messed up. You see, the steering wheel's not even turning anymore.
You know, I have had that happen before, believe it or not. I actually had that happen at Chicago Street Course. It was right after I got my new direct drive wheel, and I hit the tires so hard somewhere that it actually threw the entire wheel out of calibration. So that is a possibility. I've seen it happen firsthand before, but he's going to come down pit lane here. It looks like after getting the faster pair, the wheel is indeed turning now, at least for the 116 car. So a little bit of good news there if you're an Edward Fiedler fan, that the wheel is not completely broken, at least not now. So he'll get back out there and try to give it another go, work his way back up through the field as we work this caution here on lap number 56. And, you know, the first half of the race went green. We've had a couple quick cautions here. So while I've got an opportunity, just in case we do get another green flag run, I want to give another shout out to a league sponsor, and that is Goat Talk Live. Goat Talk Live is more than just a show. It is a platform dedicated to supporting our nation's heroes. Through engaging conversations, Goat Talk spotlights the impactful work GLR does to build community and camaraderie through their iRacing leagues. Each week, hang out with the GLR crew for incredible stories, sim racing action, and a celebration of the spirit of service and community. Don't miss your chance to connect with the people driving change and supporting those that have served. And Eddie, I know you're on Goat Talk Live. It's always a good time tuning in and just hearing whatever y'all decide to talk about that week. You never quite know what you're going to get out of Goat Talk.
Yeah, I mean, engaging conversation is a bit of a stretch. It's just a fun way for us to get some stuff out there that we don't normally get to talk about. Let Pat sort of give you the full insight of what's going on around Goat Locker, get to talk to some vets, get to talk to some people and learn more about them. And I think that's always good for a community. You kind of see each other as a screen name on Discord, or someone that's driving next to you on a virtual racetrack, but it sure does kind of help humanize people when you get them on screen, hear about their lives, hear about their struggles and stuff, and that's what makes Goat Talk so sweet.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really cool just hearing that side of it, but be interesting to see the next episode of that as we get ready to go back green into that extreme scoring restart zone. Michael Jones with another good launch, but his buffer is gone now. Those drivers with fresher tires are right behind him. He's got Jake Bustos now looking to the inside. Barrett Morton now up into the third position. Samuel Joseph has worked his way up into fourth overall. So this battle for the lead, I have a feeling, is getting ready to heat up here, Eddie.
Yeah, Joseph did not get a great jump and is trying to claw back now, and I'm really worried about Zachary Tyler a little bit. He is making some aggressive blocks here to try to defend that inside line. It's going to open the door for McWhorter to go to the outside, but Zachary Tyler's really been making his car as wide as possible, and luckily no accident from it, but it has been some aggressive racing here. As up front, it is Michael Jones holding the lead with Bustos there in second, and now here comes Barrett Morton down to the inside of Samuel Joseph. Joseph trying to fight back, get up to that front spot, but just not quite able to do it. Under fire now from the 9 of Barrett Morton.
Yeah, Barrett Morton working his way up. And actually, I should correct myself on something, because Bustos does not have a tire advantage on Michael Jones. Bustos just took fuel only on his last stop. So the first two drivers on tires are Samuel Joseph and Barrett Morton, currently in third and fourth. And, I mean, they're not closing in like you would have anticipated. I mean, even Joseph McWhorter now with those 4 fresh tires, he's the first driver on 4, is in the 6th position. So he's made up a few spots, but not just driving by people like you would expect, and actually gets into the wall there.
Yeah, normally the older tires kind of do well on a restart, and after you get about 4 or 5 laps in them, they start to fade away. But we really don't know how these ARCA changes are really going to play out in that way. So we'll see right here, but I mean, it seems to be, pretty similar as they're starting to fade a little bit. I saw Michael Jones get a little bit loose there that kind of drawed in Bustos and also now Joseph. So we're maybe starting to see the weakness of those tires as here comes Joseph down to the inside trying to take that second position. And Michael Jones going to have to really fight his guts out to hang on to that lead. I think once he gets in dirty air, those tires may be a sort of a negative. You see Bustos, though, He is really fighting hard on the outside, able to hang on to this. Oh, my goodness, Barrett Morton.
Oh, big move.
3 wide behind him is,
had to save it there.
Oh, boy.
And oh, no. Other drivers that are not on each other's Christmas card list between Joseph and Mark Cofield there. And Samuel Joseph is not going to be happy with that one as the yellow flag is back out here at Nashville. Oh, we could see that one building for a couple of laps, just the way that the racing was going. These guys were absolutely going at it there. Let's take a look here on the instant replay. Mark Cofield, I mean, he just drives the hell out of this thing down into the turn, slides up into the door of Samuel Joseph. Joseph tries his best to save it, but ends up going around. And
you know what,
yeah,
Daniel, I don't think anybody got any damage there. That was actually,
I don't either.
Yeah, that was about the cleanest multi-car wreck I've ever seen. There's going to be a little bit of contact once, and you can see the 9 makes contact with the 65 as he kind of pulls up in front of him. Watch this dive, and then watch as they're going to make a little contact here, and Joseph's going to get loose, and he's going to spin down to the inside. Doesn't really make contact with anybody else. The 9 of Barrett Morton also goes through the grass, but makes no contact. So, I mean, as far as wrecks go, that was about the cleanest one you could imagine.
Yeah, I mean, for as many drivers as there were that got caught up in that, for none of them to really have any lasting or significant damage, I mean, that's pretty impressive right there. But, yeah, that could have easily taken out a lot more drivers, could have easily ended up costing some drivers a fast repair. As we see Jake Bustos comes down pit lane. He was one of those that took fuel only on that last pit stop. So I think he realized he's going to be on defense the whole time. He may not be able to drive his way back up through the field, but at least with a tire advantage here, maybe he can try to make a little bit of ground.
Interesting call to do that. Maybe you're right. I just I think at this point with only 15 laps to go, I think you kind of had made your bed at that point. Now he's going to restart all the way back. Looks like only back in the 27th position, so I don't know if I love that call. I don't think he got any major damage there, but coming down pit road is definitely going to take him out of a shot of having a top 5 for sure. Yeah, but so, I mean, the biggest loser in all that obviously was the driver, Samuel Joseph, who's now back in 30th. He goes down pit road, gets some damage repair. He's going to be at the tail end of the lead lap, so a bummer to see that kind of race play out. He's good in the playoffs, so it's not a huge deal. And I think the story right now is just Michael Jones and whether or not he can hang on for the next 15 laps. He's got Joseph McWhorter on his outside, and you know it's going to take a lot to hold off these tires. But so far, he's done a great job with these restarts and getting really good jumps. He just needs to continue to do that and maybe hope for a few more cautions.
Yeah, just one bit of housekeeping. Mark Cofield was given an EOL for that last caution that we saw there. I mean, to be honest, not a big surprise on that. We saw how deep he drove it in and slid up into Samuel Joseph. So, you know, you talked about Joseph being in the back. He's probably not happy about the way that played out. And now he's going to have the guy that got into his door back there with him. I'm not saying, I'm just saying they're going to be close to each other. We'll see if there's any more contact here with them throughout the evening. But we're going to keep an eye up on the front of the field in the meantime to get ready to go back green here. Joseph McWhorter now on the outside on that front row. We'll see if he can time up this restart, try to keep pace with Michael Jones as we get ready to head into that extreme scoring restart zone. Green flag back out and a really good jump here by Jones. And we are already back under caution as they are wrecking in the back of the pack. Christopher Heiner's around. Bustos got caught up in it. I think Samuel Joseph maybe got into it. I'm not sure if he actually got anything out of that. It looked like he may have just basically stood on the brakes and was able to avoid that. But Christopher Heiner missing the entire front end of his car. As we go back and take a look here, big accordion effect in the back, and it looked like that was Charles Abert that got in the back of Heiner and started that wreck off there.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Heiner does get on the brakes quite a bit, and it's not Heiner's. It's really not Heiner's fault, but you can see there's really not much that 7 can do. And we've talked about it before. You know, everybody leaves these gaps, and you can see we'll try to get a better view of it. But look how big these gaps. You can fit 2 or 3 cars. That's bad. And people leave these gaps to try to give themselves opportunities to get on the brakes if something goes wrong. But all that does is create this accordion effect where Heiner can't see that they're checking up until the last second, and for sure not the 7, as they're all going to check up right here. And there's just not going to be much the 7 can do. He reacts, but it's just too late. Let's go on board with the 7 just to kind of reiterate. See how big those gaps are. They need to be tight. Instead of now everybody's going to get on the gas trying to jump the restart, you're going to see the 7's not going to be able to see in front of him until it's too late.
Yeah, you're absolutely right on that. I know that is something that race control league admins talk about. Keep these restarts tightened up, and that right there is a prime example of why they say to do so, because, I mean, we didn't even get the entire field past the start-finish line on that restart before we were wadding them up again in the back of the pack because of that. And you're right. I mean, it's nothing. There's not much that you can do when they start slamming on the brakes like that in front of you, except slam on the brakes yourself and hope for the best. And those big gaps are what causes that. So unfortunate that a couple of drivers got some really big damage out of that. Kind of mind blowing to me that we had 4 cars spinning earlier on the previous caution at the front of the field, and none of them get a bit of damage out of it, but an 80-mile-an-hour impact makes it look like you got in a fight with a Chrysler 300. So, just kind of weird the way the physics work sometimes. But we'll get ready to get these drivers lined back up and get this race restarted. Be close to 10 laps to go once we do get this one fired back off. And thought Michael Jones might be short on fuel or something. Looked like he was trying to come down pit road, but just giving a little fake out there. So should get the 1 to green this time by, I believe. We'll get them double filed back up here. But while they get that 1 to green, complete this last pace lap, let's go ahead and thank one more league sponsor here this evening, and that is InVets. And InVets aids in transitioning to civilian life, focusing on job placement and finding the right community for veterans and their families to ensure their success and happiness. They are a veteran nonprofit in Indiana with the goal of bringing veterans to that state to live and work. And we definitely appreciate all of their support here. They've been a sponsor for a long time. Definitely not possible for us to do what we do without their support here.
Yeah, we love InVets. That's how they get these veterans in Indiana. That's how they get through the application process to get connected. And just an incredible organization and an invaluable member and partner of Goat Locker.
Well, getting ready to go back green. There will be 11 laps to go when we take the green flag this time by. Front row is still Michael Jones and Joseph McWhorter up there. Jamie Libke on the second row with McGahee up there as well. Let's get ready to go back green into that extreme scoring restart zone. Green flag back out in the air. Another great jump here for Michael Jones. Jamie Libke now actually looking to the inside of Joseph McWhorter. Barrett Morton thought about 3 wide for a minute, but thinks better of it. And he's just going to slot in right now, but he's got McGahee to his outside, trying to find a way around here. Now he's going to look 3 wide as they head down the back straightaway.
Yeah, Libke got a little bit out of shape there for just a second. That was enough for Barrett Morton to pounce, but Libke fighting hard on the outside. Barrett Morton not able to kind of fill that gap just yet, but able to do it now. He's going to hold on to 4th place for sure, as everybody kind of getting single file here as we are down to just 9 laps to go in this race. And right now it is Michael Jones, Joseph McWhorter, your leaders in the respective divisions, and their competition now battling side by side behind them.
Yeah, and here goes Barrett Morton trying to look to the inside for 3rd overall. Not quite able to make that pass stick. It's just that the car gets so loose down there on the bottom of the track. He loses that momentum. Jamie Libke now looking to the outside of Morton to head down into turns 1 and 2, but we'll see if Libke's able to utilize that momentum, and she is. She's going to look to the outside, trying to take away that 3rd position.
Yeah, that outside line definitely seems really quick on restarts, early parts of the run. As tires start to heat up, it gets a little bit worse. The battle for the lead, though, is underway. Michael Jones tried to park it off of 4, not able to do it. That's going to allow Joseph McWhorter to get to the outside. Michael Jones going to make a little bit of contact.
Michael Jones is not giving up the lead easily. He makes some contact with Joseph McWhorter and maintains that number 1 position. McWhorter giving him a shove, uses the bumper getting down into turn number 3. You know, Michael Jones isn't happy about that move. McWhorter probably not happy about the way he
there it is.
They make more contact. Into
there
the
it is.
Goes McWhorter, and around goes Michael Jones.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. Billy J. Sigmund is up in the catch fence. Oh, my goodness. Shades of Austin Dillon and Daytona. He was upside down in the air in the catch fence. And we are back under caution here. Inside of 10 laps to go. Let's cue this up on the replay because there is a lot to unpack on this one. We're riding on board here with Billy J. Sigmund, who's about to go for a hell of a ride. Thank you, new physics model, I guess. And man, that was a ride.
Yeah, I wanted to show that because that's definitely going to be the fun one. And then it's unfortunate. This is what happens. You give the McWhorter the shove. And guess what? It's coming right back. And that's just when you race hard and you race aggressively and then you turn up in front of him. I hate it for you, Michael Jones, but that is exactly what happens. You didn't need to give that bump to Joseph McWhorter. Oh, my God. It gets destroyed there at the end. Let's watch him.
Sisk in the 18 here. This is going to be another wild ride as we ride on board here with Colton. Just celebrated a birthday, and I think giving somebody else a gift here, a belated birthday present, we'll call it, coming out of turn number 4. Of course, we know that the wreck is going on up here ahead of this. And, I mean, that was a very delayed caution, and, good God, I think that's a strike on Wii Bowling.
Yeah. I think we're probably about to go green, but I kind of want to just go back real quick and watch the wreck between the two. But the contact happened at some point.
Yeah, this is where the first contact occurs between these two. Michael Jones gets down into the turn. He drives it in deep, gets into McWhorter, runs him up the racetrack. Clears back in front of him, and that at that point, the gloves are off.
Yeah, I mean, you've decided how you're going to race, and unfortunately, you just got in front of the 72, and he's just going to give it back. So there's really not much. But all was clean. He gave it back, and then the 72 goes to the outside, and the 2 just was late to make that move. And just unfortunate that it worked out that way for the 2 of Michael Jones. But now he's going to be back in 27th after having a great shot to win that race.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate ending, but let's give a quick reset on the field because there was a lot that happened on that. Just looking at the overall running order right now, Tyler McGahee is in first overall, Barrett Morton in second. They are the AM and Pro division leaders right now. JB Libke rather will be in third, Joseph McWhorter in fourth. And after coming down pit lane, and Zachary Tyler in fifth. I thought that he had actually made another pit stop, but no, he is still out there on the older tires. In sixth overall is Jeremiah Holt. After the EOL, the restart violation, and everything else, I mean, he has worked his way back up to sixth, and he's still got a shot at this thing here as we get down to the end of this. Going to be going green with 3 laps to go.
Yeah, Yeah, it definitely changed a lot. I think it opened a lot of doors. McWhorter's got some damage on the right rear, obviously some damage on the right side. We'll see how that affects him. But I think if you're Barrett Morton, you're in a great spot. You just need to get a great restart the best you can and, decide how bad you want that overall win versus having the pro win. I don't know what the right call is in that situation. I don't know. I mean, Tyler McGahee would love to get the overall win, but I don't know. I don't know the mindset here. I think you just go for the win. I don't think you're even thinking about who's pro and all this and all that jazz. You're just going for the dub. You want to be sitting atop the pylon no matter what division you're in. But could make this really interesting to see how it all plays out.
Yeah, I'm with you. Just throw them up on the dash and see if you can get up there and get that win. You've got 3 laps to go. You're this close to it. you might as well go all out and see if you can get out of here with the overall race win. And like you said, then it don't matter who's in what division. You already know you won yours as we get ready to head into that extreme scoring restart zone. 3 laps to go. McGahee with a really good launch here. He's going to be able to pretty easily clear, but Barrett Morton with a good launch as well up on that high side. He's going to be able to keep second overall. We'll see if Joseph McWhorter has anything to try to get up here and take this race lead away.
It's like the car is driving okay. Barrett Morton tried to time the restart, kind of missed it, had to check up, and then lost him the ability to hang on to that outside line. But he is now on the attack now. Tyler McGahee is going to have to drive the best 3 laps of his life. It looks like the damage on McWhorter, not an issue as he goes down to the inside, going to fight for second. That's Tyler McGahee's best outcome at the moment.
Yeah, Tyler McGahee wants to see that side-by-side, but even with them running side-by-side, they're still catching up to that 511 car. McGahee now trying to maybe help Barrett Morton pull ahead with a little bit of draft down the back straightaway. Here comes Jeremiah Holt. He's looking to the inside of McWhorter as they get ready to come to the white flag, but the caution is out before
no.
Oh, no. Mark Cofield around in 3 and 4. We are going to have a green-white checkers shootout. Oh, Tyler McGahee, you hate that for him. He was just a couple hundred yards away from taking the white flag and making this thing official. We'll go back and check the instant replay here. A couple of drivers getting together ahead of Mark Cofield there, and it looks like maybe Andy Carnes, just something broken on the car, shoots right up the track into Mark Cofield. Nothing that he could have done there, just wrong place, wrong time.
I'll board with Carnes here and just see what happened after that contact. But yeah, it looks like he makes contact with the wall, and then
yeah, that steering is broken or possibly a hardware issue or something. But, you know, that is interesting that's the second time this evening we've seen somebody with contact to the wall, and then the steering wheel just doesn't turn. I mean, that's the strangest thing. Good Lord.
54, Corey Vaughn just mid Sudoku back here. Good grief. Oh, at the low 49.
He got a little help on that one. More than a little help, but we'll say a little help on that one. But, yeah, that was even separate of the initial incident there. So a couple of different things going on at the same time there, and that's going to put us under the caution for a green-white checker scenario here and set us up for more chaos at the end of this one.
Well, you know, I thought about what you said, and I'm not disagreeing just to disagree, but I think for Tyler – I think this might be the best thing for him because you know, we've talked about those tires, you know, cooling them down under the restart. He's going to have a great jump. He's going to be able to get a great start, and he's going to have, you know, a car length or two to try to hang on to this lead. It was starting to get a little scary for him there right as that caution came out, so I'd be curious to know if he makes that last lap. I don't know, but I kind of feel like he's in a great spot here. He just has to get a good launch. I think that's where it all matters. Does he get the restart he needs, get out there, and hopefully Holt was able to get that third position, gets under Barrett Morton, and once they get side by side, you can almost just say, all right, toodaloo, and go get that dub.
Yeah, that's a good point too, because, you know, we even touched on it before that caution came out that even with McWhorter and Barrett Morton running side by side, they were still catching Tyler McGahee for the race lead. So, yeah, you're right on that. There very well may have been an element of relief for that, you know, he's just got to hang on for 2 laps. If he can get a good launch, that'll get him basically a half a lap here. And, you know, again, we've documented Jeremiah Holt's struggles on restarts. Saw it last week, seen it this week already.
Yep.
So is he able to kind of exercise those demons here, and can he keep on the back bumper of Tyler McGahee once he launches? I mean, it could be a perfect storm here for McGahee to be able to try to get that win and be the second driver on the season, second AM driver rather, to get the overall race win.
Well, I'll tell you,
we are
Daniel,
setting up for a shootout here.
In chat, Smokey791 says Tyler is calm, cool, collected. He's winning, he says. So he is calling his shots from inside the car. We'll see if he can get it done.
You love it. You love to see that confidence out of the driver. And we'll see if he can go out here and get that win, get it done here this evening, like you said. getting ready to head into that extreme scoring restart zone. So pace car makes that left-hand turn onto pit lane. It's going to have control, needs to get a good clean launch here, get a good clean restart. This green flag is back out in the air.
Oh, man.
Looks like a little bit of tire spin. Joseph McWhorter shoves Barrett Morton to the race lead and now looking to the inside for the lead himself. They're down into turn one, side by side for the lead.
Unbelievable for Tyler as he's free-falling now into the hands of Samuel Joseph as we have 2 laps to go. Will we get the white flag? It's side by side for the lead.
Joseph McWhorter on the inside. Barrett Morton on the
contact!
They're door banging, making contact. Coming back to the line. Caution's not yet out. They take the white flag presented by Glove Station. 1 lap to go. They're banging doors. Joseph McWhorter gives Barrett Morton a shove.
Tyler's not out of it.
Give it back if he gets close enough.
Tyler not out of it. He's going to get side by side with Barrett Morton. Does he have anything for the 72? He's going to drop down to the corner. And I don't think they do, Daniel. I think Joseph McWhorter is going to come off at turn 4, and he is going to win. But Tyler McGahee, regardless, is going to take the amateur win as well. Oh, my God.
Yeah, you've got to feel gutted there for McGahee not getting the race win, but still able to recover and get the AM division win. Barrett Morton spins Joseph McWhorter. I got to think that he was not happy about that move that McWhorter pulled there on the white flag lap. It looked like there was quite a bit of contact here. Let's go back and take a look at this last lap.
Let's see the wreck here behind.
For the lead. Yeah, there was a huge wreck coming to the white flag, and I'm honestly surprised that it didn't bring out a caution because these drivers, I mean, there was somebody upside down. So they banged doors here first between McWhorter and Barrett Morton. Nothing wrong with that. A little side draft, another little door bang here, little touch as they get down. But yeah, then, I mean, that wasn't quite as egregious as what we saw last week with Mark Cofield door banging somebody getting into the turn. But yeah, Barrett Morton then shows his displeasure, throws the bumper back to Joseph McWhorter, probably wishing he was raced a little bit cleaner there for the win. But hey, they're going to be racing each other in the playoffs, and we've talked about it. Drivers never forget. Barrett Morton probably not going to forget that one here this evening. Joseph McWhorter celebrates the race win. We're going to go take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back to catch a word with our Pro and AM division winners. Be right back with you here in just a few moments.
Superior quality, ultimate protection, and the highest level of craftsmanship. We make our gloves for the hard worker that wakes up every morning and gives 110%. You deserve the highest quality protective gear that's going to work for you, day in, day out. We know it can be tough deciding what companies to trust for your hard-earned money. It's all in our name. We've mastered our craft to help you master yours. We make our gloves rugged, durable, and designed for you. Whatever the job is, we have you covered. We are your Glove Station.
A thriving job market and low cost of living, plus a wide range of veteran benefits, make Indiana the perfect place for veterans of the United States military to call home. InVets can help you find that home. We're an organization started by veterans to help former service members transition to civilian life in our state. InVets can help you find the community with the career opportunities, housing, schools, and amenities that fit your lifestyle. To learn more about InVets, visit us at invets.org today.
Welcome back to Nashville Superspeedway, where we just saw a chaotic race to wrap up the regular season here in the Alexander PC ARCA East Series. We'll go ahead and take a look at your race results here tonight, starting with the Pro Division. Joseph McWhorter coming home with the win. Barrett Morton in second. Jeremiah Holt comes back to finish third in the Pro Division here this evening. Coming home in fourth is Jake Bustos. Christopher Heiner in fifth, Zachary Tyler in sixth, Billy J. Sigmund upside down in the catch fence, everything else. He comes home in seventh, Trenton Sneed in eighth, and Austin McColgan rounding out your Pro Division comes home in ninth.
Well, I should have taken the pro results for sure, because you got Tyler McGahee winning in the amateur division. Jamie Lipke going to come home in second with Alan Smith in third. MJ Johns comes home in fourth. Devin Smith, hey, we talked about Devin Smith getting a lot of damage, getting caught up in a wreck, and was able to get that fast repair and come home with a top five in the amateur side. Yeah, Bill Mulfield in sixth, Jesse Fox in seventh. Eighth is Mike Kraskowski, and in ninth, Mark Cofield with Andy Carnes rounded out your top 10 in the amateur side. In 11th, it's going to be Chase Barkas. Started up towards the front, had a pretty miserable first part of the race, but able to bounce back for the 11th place finish. Alex Grog in 12th. Mason Milliere in, I'll never get that right, in 13th. Edward Fielder in the 14th position. Claire Sisk in 15th. Bryce Grissom in 16th. 17th, Mark Barcelos. 18th, Samuel Yosef. Just a disaster race that just kept getting worse, and there at the end ended up flipping down the front stretch. Chris Nail, another driver who you usually see at the front, struggling tonight, finishes in 19th. Corey Vaughn in 20th. And 21st is going to be Charles Abert. Michael Jones in 22nd. Colton Sisk in 23rd. And Tyler Evans is going to round out your amateur field.
Well, that's going to do it for your full race rundown. And Eddie Smith, I believe you're standing by with our overall race winner, Joseph McWhorter.
Yeah, Joseph, man, you had a tough qualifying effort, and I just had a quick question about that. What happened in the qualifying? We normally see you up front. Just seemed like you just wasn't able to put the lap down you wanted to in the qualifying.
I only had one lap of practice. That's pretty much it.
All right.
I had one lap of practice. That was it, really.
One lap of practice, one lap in qualifying, but it was good enough to get you the overall win. You drove up through the field, and you had some really, really great battles along the way to kind of break down the race for you and what it took to drive up from 14th all the way up towards the front. I mean, at the end there, kind of hone in on the end, because that was the most exciting part, where you were trying to battle and get your way up to the front.
Yeah, just I don't know. I've found something down there on the bottom towards the apron. There's like a little strip down there where you see like a little mini seam all the way around the corner, and it just seems like if you just hug your left sides on that, it just rotates really good. Yeah, just was able to pick our way through, pick our battles, be patient. Yeah, we got up there to the front there at the end, and me and Michael had a good fight going, and then I don't know. I don't know if Michael just didn't realize that I was already tied against the wall. I don't know if he just, if he tried to block and just didn't realize where. I don't know what happened there on that one, but I mean, he just uh, it kind of screwed both of us there. We were having a good battle, and then ended up restarting, and the 51 restarted in the wrong gear, and I timed it really well and pushed Barrett. Got to his left front quarter panel, and was able to just kind of stay there all the way through the corner, and then we made contact on the front stretch, and then he turned in. Barrett did. He turned in earlier than I did, and kind of shot himself up the track, and then he tried to scoot me back, whenever we were in the center, and it just, all it did was kind of give me a little bit tight on the exit, and then after that it was just one more clean lap, and off we went.
Yeah, wow. That definitely sums up the race for you, and just a great drive. nice and easy way up through the field and able to pick your way through, survive some of the chaos. Even had a little bit of damage there at the end and able to get the win. So congratulations, Joseph, on another win of the season. I do believe that makes win number 4, at least by the standings here. And who do you have to thank for that win?
Yeah, I need to thank Outlier Speedco first and foremost. OutlierSpeedco.com. Johnny and the boys, go check them out if you guys need some really good setups. They got great stuff. Let's see. Red Camel Racing, check them out at redcamelracing.com. Need to thank the league sponsors, Lincoln Tech, Save 22, Alexander PCs, Indiana Department of Veteran Affairs, InVets, and Above the Yellow Line. All the great partners here. You guys, as always, for putting on a broadcast. You guys do a great job every week. Drivers for a pretty decent race. Admins for the hard work, and ready to get into next week.
All right. A championship favorite, Joseph McWhorter, brings home the win tonight in the pro division. And Daniel, you're caught up with your amateur winner, Tyler McGahee.
I am Tyler. This is Daniel and Eddie up in the booth. You got us?
Yes, sir.
Well, man, what a run tonight. You played the strategy game perfectly. I mean, you had speed too, started 5th on the evening. And we were looking out the YouTube chat there, getting close to those final restarts. And Smokey 791, I'm assuming that's a friend or a spotter or something along those lines, said you were calm, cool, collected, and you said you were winning. You didn't end up getting the overall win, but still getting the AM division win. Just talk us through those last couple of restarts and what your mindset was going through those.
Well, that first restart when we were coming, I think it was going to be 3 or 2 to green. I kind of knew if I played it right, I could get a good jump on everybody and hopefully just ride it in. And of course, that doesn't happen because, it can't ever be easy. And then that last restart, I had his name's Oki. He races in the West Division, but he was watching and had him and a couple other people telling me, oh, it's in the bag, it's in the bag. And I look down and I'm in 3rd. And at that point, I'm pressing the gas and I'm just getting swallowed by everybody. So then it was just go into, hey, let's not let anybody with a red spoiler get in front of me, and we'll just coast it on in. I wanted to win the whole thing, but I'll take I guess a second. But I was happy for second race here, so I don't have too many complaints.
Yeah, and you mentioned second race here, so that won't lock you into the playoffs, unfortunately, with that AM division win. But it's got to give you a lot of confidence, though, going into the last 5 races of the season and possibly building towards the summer series and next season when we get there.
Oh yeah, I was I had been asking them about like what they were racing, and I just recently got into sim or back into sim about a month ago. And they had told me about this league, and they were like, I don't know if it's full or not. And then I joined last weekend, and I think I got second last weekend and then first tonight. So I'm just hoping to I told them just kind of play spoiler and do my best and hopefully not really cause any issues. That's my main goal, is kind of stay out of the way.
Well, really awesome job tonight. And again, just phenomenal drive, led 9 laps, had a really strong run all evening. Before we let you go, Tyler, who do you want to thank or shout out for this one?
I'd like to thank Lincoln Tech, Save 22, Alexander PCs, and the Indiana Department of Veteran Affairs, INV Vets, and ATYL. And honestly, all the guys at Clutch Motorsports, they were kind of cheering me on and telling me that I need to definitely tune into the YouTube channel after the race. So I'm hopefully I got some screen time.
Well, congrats again on the AM division win. I'm sure we'll be seeing you again with some really strong runs here. Good to have you in the league.
Thank you.
There you have it from our AM division winner, Tyler McGahee. Eddie, what a chaotic race we saw. I mean, you said it yourself at one point during the broadcast. You're sitting here saying how hard this track can be to pass. We were basically just trying to write this thing off before it even started. Man, they made us look like a bunch of goobers tonight.
Yeah, well, it doesn't take much to do that, but it's like they put a bunch of drivers in a blender and just kind of turned it on high tonight. It was a lot of fun to watch. It's messy. There's going to be some upset people for sure, and some people upset that the caution didn't come out there at the end, but, iRacing starts throwing the white flag before you actually make it sometimes, so I think that's what caused it, or, I'm not real sure, but either way, it was still a fantastic race, a great finish. Lots of ups and downs, plenty to talk about. I've sat through a ton of boring races in the past, and this was not one of them. The ARCA series always puts on a great show. Tonight, I don't think it's any different.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you talked about some drivers maybe upset after this one with the way they were raced. Well, we're going to give them an extra week to think about it. We've got a break next week for the Easter holiday. Give these drivers a week off to maybe cool off, or I don't know, maybe they'll sit there and stew about it some more and just be more pissed off when we get to Richmond next week. What better, or 2 weeks rather, what better track to head to with a bunch of Mattern and the Hornets Nest drivers than heading to the short track at Richmond to kick off the playoffs. We've got Richmond and Auto Club for that first round, Pocono and North Wilkesboro for the second round with the championship race at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And that will decide our champion for both the Pro and AM divisions. And we're going to have every lap of it live right here on V-Speed. Going to be a great 5 weeks to settle out the champion for this series. But that's going to do it for our coverage here this evening from Nashville. So on behalf of Patrick Drabick, Jamie Barkis, and everyone at Goat Locker, for everybody at V-Speed, including Adam Baker, Bradley Cooper, Morgan Cook, and of course you as well, Eddie, running the production truck and co-commentating here this evening. My name is Daniel Cunningham. Thank you for tuning in this evening. We'll see you in 2 weeks after the Easter break as we kick off the playoffs with some short track racing at Richmond Raceway. Good night, everyone.